Hey YouTube, right here. Alright, want to go ahead and make a video. Apparently there's like this petition that's out there that the press is making a big deal out of. I went ahead and read through the petition. I can tell you right now, it may say that that petition is trying to represent gamers in the US. As a gamer in the US who networks with a lot of other gamers, I got a pretty good grasp on what gamers want. Not a single thing in that petition. Ubisoft, do not listen. Newspapers, pull your heads out of your asses. At what point does any of that jive with what gamers have been fighting for here in the US? Not just here in the US, gamers in general. We've been fighting against forced multiculturalism. We've been fighting against that. We've been for these companies being able to do whatever they want with their intellectual property as far as their own artistic views. Whatever they choose to do, then go for it. If we don't like it, we vote with our wallet. But we don't sit there and say, oh, you have to change this. No, there's another group that fucking does that one. Now, as far as the language of it, does that really seem like the language of a fucking gamer to you? Really? Your average gamer is not going to speak like that. Especially not when they're fucking pissed off. No. In fact, they wouldn't have been doing a fucking petition here. They would have just said, fuck it, I'll skip. I'll pass. The only time you will hear US gamers bitching about some localization or something like that is if a large part of the game was cut out to avoid an adult-only rating. By our little fucking nanny board that rates video games. You know, the nanny board that was initially comprised of people who were previously trying to get video games outright banned in the country. Like, every video game, bar none. Just video gaming illegal. Done. It's the only time we'll bitch about any type of localization. But we'll bitch about it, and then we'll sit there and we'll buy it from another country and have it imported. Fairly simple. But you're not going to hear about them sitting there and bitching about, maybe a couple lines of dialogue being changed or something like that. No, not really. We might bitch about, piss poor voice acting, piss poor voiceovers, dubbing, so on and so forth. But we're not going to bitch about small localization issues. We tend to bitch about the big shit because there's more than enough big shit to bitch about. We don't have time for the petty shit. And the thing is I watched the trailer for Far Cry. And it looks pretty damn good. It looks like it's going to be kind of ambiguous as to who's right and wrong. That's kind of cool. I like that. Makes for a good story. Makes you sometimes question your actions in the game. That's called depth of character. We've been craving that. We want depth to our characters. That's one of the reasons why Dark Souls is such a popular series. Well, that, and it also delivers the challenge that gamers have been fucking craving since forever. But yeah. And I could go on and on and on about this thing. I might go ahead and do a live stream where I go through, read through the thing, and just fucking pick it apart from a gamer's standpoint. But I'm telling you right now, it wasn't a gamer that wrote this, and it sure as hell wasn't any gamers that actually signed it. Unless it was some gamer sitting there and just trying to troll Ubisoft. Because, let's be honest, Ubisoft, you know, as far as a company goes, yeah, they're not exactly liked. We like their games, but, you know, their practices aren't exactly great. But this game isn't an insult to people in the US. It's not an insult to Americans. Hell, if anything, it is a very, very, very accurate portrayal of what's happening in the US. And it's a little bit of a look into the future. And what I mean by that is the religion of political correctness. It's taking over everything. It's becoming more authoritarian by the day. Every day, it's a new thing coming out. One thing after another after another. So here's the thing. It's a very accurate portrayal of the U.S. We're not going to have an issue with that. If anything, it's going to allow us to blow off a lot of fucking steam. So it'll be hopeful. But the game hasn't been released. There's not a fuck ton of information out about it. So, alright. You know, there is some uncertainty there. But it's not enough to get the gamers up in a tizzy. What is the news reporting this as something credible. And the reason why I think the news is so willing to just latch on to this is because a lot of this is worded in social justice speech. I almost guarantee you this was an SJW fucking throwing this shit out here. This is the type of shit that they complain about, not gamers. So, of course, the media is going to sit there and go, oh yeah, we're going to latch on to this, even though it only has 600 fucking signatures. Ubisoft is not listening to 600 signatures. Period. You're going to have to add a few zeros behind that. But, yeah. I think they're latching on to it because they're fucking scared. Because they're all like, oh shit. People who play this game are suddenly going to look outside and all of a sudden see a really, really dim sight of the U.S. It might actually open up a few of those neutrals' eyes. And then go, wait a minute. This shit's actually fucking happening. What the fuck? So I say, Ubisoft, don't change your game. Release it in the state that you want to release it in. Don't edit it. Don't censor it. We'll buy it. Hell, I don't have a whole hell of a lot of money. But as long as you release it out on PC, of course, a helicopter's going to fly over right now. But as long as you release it on PC, I will find a way to buy it on launch. As long as you don't change a single fucking thing about it. Hell, if I can scrounge up the money, I'll buy the fucking collector's edition. I'll buy the most expensive collector's edition that I can get my grubby little mitts on. Because the thing is this right here is you hitting a little bit too close to home for the SJWs. And they know who the real bad guys in the game are going to be. It's not going to be the redneck hicks. Oh no. It's going to be the authoritarian, pseudo-religious group. They're going to be the fucking bad guys. They're going to be the ones that people fucking hate. And the thing is, these SJWs and their good bosom buddies, the media, know it. And they know who the actual bad guys in not only the story in this game, but the story of real life truly are. So go ahead, forge forward. Where you're based out of may be completely fucked, and there might not be too much of a market where you're at, but over here, gamers would love to go ahead and finally have the US properly represented in a video game.